morning. Well, we're going to continue with the story about Jesus after Christmas. Can you remember last week we heard about how God told Joseph to take baby Jesus and Mary to Egypt because he was afraid that Herod would do something rather nasty to baby Jesus. Well, this week we're going to talk about something that we do too. When a little baby is born, we usually bring the little baby to church and have them baptized or christened and give them a name. Sometimes we also buy them presents. Perhaps we might buy a little pair of shoes. They look like they're for a little boy, but they're very sweet. Or if it's a girl, perhaps we would buy them a little dress. This one's got some leggings to go with it. That's very sweet too. But if you just want to buy something that would do for either, then perhaps you would buy something like this, a little blanket. This is a very sweet one. It's got flowers and it's got butterflies on, but it could do for anyone. And sometimes we send them a card to welcome them. But you know, in the time of Jesus, when a mother and father took their firstborn baby to the temple to be blessed, they didn't expect presents. They brought presents, not for the baby, but for God. They would bring something like this, a dove, which was very fitting in Jesus' case, because in Isaiah we are told that Jesus would be called the Prince of Peace, and a dove is the sign of peace. And Mary and Joseph would bring something like this to God as a gift. And we usually have friends and family with us when we have our babies baptized or christened. But Mary and Joseph, they had to travel quite a long way to the temple, and so they would probably be on their own. But you know, God had prepared people to be there to see his son blessed. The first person was this person. His name was Simeon. And Simeon loved God very much. And he often prayed to God and said, God, if I could just see your Messiah, I would be quite happy. That would be enough for me. And you know, the Jewish people had been waiting a long time for the Messiah, the promised one. Jesus was the promised one. And when Mary and Joseph brought Jesus into the temple, God told Simeon, this is what you've been waiting for. Simeon was absolutely thrilled. He rushed over to them. Oh, I've been waiting so long for this special one, the promised one from God. I am so happy and I'm so pleased. And I know that some people will love him and some people won't. And some people will follow him and some people won't. And that's a message for us, isn't it, today? Do we want to follow Jesus, or are we saying no? But there was another person in the temple, and this person was very, very old. and her name was Anna. Anna lived at the temple. She was there day and night, praying and talking to God. She loved God so much. And when Mary and Joseph brought the baby Jesus into the temple, Anna was so thrilled. She rushed over and looked at him. And she was so thankful because she was really old. She was so thankful that she'd waited all these years in the temple and that here was the one she'd been waiting for, the promised one from God. And she was absolutely thrilled, and she blessed the baby Jesus too. And you know, that's just like us. Every time we come to church, God is waiting to bless us. It says in the Bible, "Let the little children come to me, for the kingdom of heaven belongs to such as these." But you know, it's not just little children. We are all God's children. And when we come to him, he is so pleased to see us. We are part of the kingdom that he is establishing. It starts here and continues in heaven. So when we come to church, let us remember it's not always what God can give to us, but sometimes we need to give back our time, our love, our talents, so then God can use them. And every day, as we use them and love him and work for him, he will bless us. So can we just remember that little story? And as we come to church, even though we can't come physically, we can watch on the live stream and we can talk to Jesus and keep a relationship going with him. So just remember, as we come to him, let us bring our hearts and ourselves, and he will bless us and use us. And it doesn't matter whether we are little children or big children, we are still part of his kingdom.